What's good, family? Welcome to aminorinhoops podcast, a show with the freshest opinions and views on the world's most beautiful game. I'm your host, Greg, and I'm here with the homies, the squad, the best starting five with the best six man in the league.
Yes, sir.
Boy Mambo Sauce, Manny, TK Leak, and the boy Keith holding
Yo,
it down with the
multiple
camera.
cameras. Y'all really, y'all understand? It's been a while since I've been on the show. Like, these dudes are upgrading. The lighting is crazy. I don't even know what camera to look at. Which one am I looking at?
You just look at the one you feel like looking at. We'll work it out. Which one should he look at, Keith? Okay, there. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So we be trying, man. We trying.
I'm proud of y'all. I'm proud of y'all. Hey, y'all on your way.
Thank you, man. We trying. How y'all feeling?
It's literally a Good Friday, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Amen.
Praise the Most High.
I'm just on my Christian Dior denim flow. You like that one? You like that one, Keith? Keith, you like that one? You don't like that one?
Keith did not like that one. Keith does not have a mic today. We're going to have to get that fifth mic.
I know. Well, no. He like DJ MV, but...
My bad. I tried to bring up a Kanye reference.
Leak, how you doing, bros?
I'm good, man. Like you said, Good Friday. Week is done. It feels weird for me because I'm just at home 7 days throughout the week working from home. So the only difference is I don't have to open my computer for a day or two.
That was a little depressing.
It's cool.
Yet blessed at the same time.
But yeah.
It's
It's like I'm chilling, but I'm so used to chilling here.
Yeah.
I need to get outside.
Basically.
Ain't nothing
Days
outside,
like
bro.
that.
Ain't
Yeah.
nothing outside.
It's cold today.
Yeah. It's April and it's like 40 degrees.
That's
strong,
Virginia,
it's a
though.
strong 40 right now.
Yeah.
That's Virginia, though. We used to that.
It is.
This is fake spring.
Fake spring.
Very.
Yeah.
Pre-spring.
Yeah, we have a fall spring.
I hate it. I can't wait to get some
How are you, Greg?
I'm good. I
I
like
feel like we
working
don't
from
ask you enough.
It's okay.
It's like you come in, you introduce the show. It's like, and we're not live anymore, but I understand. And you're like, how are you? Sometimes you gotta ask the guy who's always asking.
I appreciate that. I'm good. Like you said, man, we got 2 cameras now, thanks to Keith. Keith found a way to get us a second camera. We're gonna try and get a third one in here. The pod is growing, thanks to you guys watching. I think we just cracked 250.
250.
So we appreciate y'all with the 250 subs. Keep doing that. Keep showing love. Keep sharing. I'm working from home, but I enjoy it because I hate offices. I think.
I don't like them either.
I
You just made it
would
sound
never
dark,
go back in the office.
It would be cooler if we could go outside, like after I close my laptop, but like outside is normal.
You just want to recess.
Yeah. But I feel like we don't have that.
You want to work from home, no COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I mean, everybody does.
This ain't utopia, Leak.
Yeah, I know. But this feels like a snow day, but you're grounded.
That's a good comparison.
I feel that.
Sometimes, yeah.
It feels like my mom still sent me to school, and I'm the only one there. All
That's
my homies
even
got to
worse.
work at home for some degree.
That was you too, huh?
I-
My mom was just sending me to school, just to, like, you can't be here.
Yeah. She's like, anywhere but here.
Like,
Go to school.
You can't be here. I'm like, Mom, ain't nobody else showing up.
You are.
Facts.
You are.
You sit in that class, do something.
Fair.
All them teachers gonna do is show me a movie.
Fair.
Remember the Titans on repeat?
Right.
Hey, we supposed to be talking basketball, right?
Yeah.
We should be talking about it. We should be talking about
elementary school.
Yeah. He said, remember the times? I was like Alfred Martin, but whatever.
I was just about to go to that next one.
But man, we got a good show for y'all today. Which I want to start with? We gonna start with the beef, or we gonna start with the hoops? What would you want to start with?
I'm eating, so let's go beef. Let's go early. Let's go early.
So, one topic that was requested, Tamon got the request. Kevin Durant versus Michael Rappaport. There was, I was gonna say a leak at first, but it wasn't a leak. It dropped. He dropped it
For sure.
Michael Rappaport.
So,
intentionally.
no, I gotta
He
get this clear,
intentionally
'cause
dropped.
I didn't look on this, so Michael Rappaport intentionally
Screenshot the DMs and dropped it.
sent it to the world.
Wow. Okay. Continue.
All right, so KD and Michael Rappaport, who are believed to have had some type of a relationship, associates, friends, I don't know what they term.
They're supposed to be cool enough to disrespect each other and be able to come in to a certain kind of agreement or terms. They're supposed to be cool enough where if they do beef, it stays private.
they can air their grievances in confidence.
And regardless if they weren't cool with each other or not, as celebrities, they should know conversations like that are confidential. Off the rip, I'm like, my man's, you owe me 50 G's.
But we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
Tamon is gonna read us what was said in this here DM, and like I said, it all happened down in a DM. That sounded nasty when I said it out loud. But yeah, Michael Rappaport, Kevin Durant, and it's supposed. I guess it was supposed to make Kevin Durant look bad.
Yeah.
And you know, I guess
make
Michael
him look
Rappaport
bad to
was
me,
supposed
but we gonna get there.
Michael Rappaport was, I guess, offended by the language and the aggressiveness that Kevin Durant kind of came out the side of his mouth.
There
But
was language and aggressiveness. So I think there's context needed. KD and Michael Rappaport are supposed to have. I'm not saying
Some
they're the
type of
best, they're not the
relationship.
best of friends or anything like that, but they're supposed to have some kind of relationship that garners. I'm pretty sure they have their numbers in each other's phone. They have conversations, and it's more of a personal thing. I'm not gonna sit here and say that they're friends,
yeah,
but by KD's tweet, it suggests that they have some kind of established relationship before where
And
they
they've
have had
communicated
conversations,
before together.
even if whether they argued or not.
Yeah.
2, if you don't know who Michael Rappaport is, it's a quick Google his videos and see how disrespectful this man is whenever he's talking about anything. 3,
I mean, that's his claim to fame, though.
so 3, I already peeped in the messages. I'm like, the way that he's responding to KD doesn't seem.
authentic.
It seemed like it was more so KD's going at me. I'm gonna keep this in the tuck.
Yeah,
Because he didn't, the way he was goofball and et cetera, like, no, Michael Rappaport, I heard you be wild disrespectful. So it just seemed, it didn't seem authentic the way they were going, well, the way KD was going at him definitely seemed authentic, but the way Michael Rappaport responded seemed like, oh, like, I'm going to have this as my ace.
And who's the snake?
That's
Who's the real snake?
that's a great question, Manny. Who's the snake? The real question is, as everybody wants to know, is how do we feel about KD's comments?
I feel no type of way. No, because I think we talked about before the pod even started. I feel like between celebrities, there's supposed to be like a confidentiality. It's like we both go through it. We know what it's like to be on this type of
unwritten
level.
code.
You know what I'm saying? Like I thought they had a thing, but obviously not.
I wouldn't even say it's because they're celebrities. And like I said, I told y'all what my pops asked me about it, and he was like, "What you think?" I said, "It doesn't even matter if we both consent to have this conversation, 1-to-1 conversation. One of us opened it up, opened this avenue, and the other one stepped into it and agreed upon it by responding and communicating. Then that means whatever said between me and you, 1-to-1, is between me to you, 1-to-1.
Facts.
Now, you can respond however you want to respond to me. If you want to throw hands like, yo, hey, meet me outside. Okay, cool. We can go meet outside. You can respond anyway, but that doesn't mean you got the license to take this conversation and give it to the world at any point. That is the problem.
The give it to the world issue was my problem because I think we see this a lot of times and a lot of people speak on it. The way the internet works, it feels as if people just have this shield of protectiveness around them. When we were younger, it wasn't like that. You couldn't just say anything to anybody because they're going to respond this way.
You get whooped for that.
Yeah, it's like, all right, when I see you in real life, it's on. And now it's just like, look, he's threatening me, et cetera, et cetera. We had this conversation before the pod started recording and everything. And I said, you don't choose how somebody disrespects you back. Michael Rappaport, I don't care what the comment was. I don't care how light you thought it was. I don't care if you think you were just critiquing his game. You're not an NBA analyst. You're not his mother. You're not his father. You're none of that.
Yeah.
So your comment, if Katie took it as disrespect, which originally read, it seems disrespectful coming from someone like you. Now, was it on the same level of disrespect KD gave you back? No. Did KD come at you randomly? No. When you say something, you can't control the way somebody disrespects you back. If I decided to disrespect Greg or Manny or Leak, and they want to take it a step further, I'm not going to sit here and be like, wow, look at them bullying me. No.
When I open the door to it.
Because with every action, there's a reaction, and we can't get mad at how somebody reacts to some disrespect that I gave them. When you crying on their internet, when you're a grown man, you decide to say this about a grown man, and another grown man decides to respond to you with force, then that's just what you open the door to.
Right.
And I'm not saying KD's is just great. It's just like, all even when it comes to what happened, but it's justified. Now, there's certain things that there were some phrases, and they're not going to be able to hear it because Greg's like the greatest editor in the world.
Yeah, I'm gonna take care of it.
And even if they do hear it, my bad, Mom, but there's some phrases that I've never uttered in my life.
Yeah.
To another man like that, but. I don't think I ever called another man a goofball.
I would never. That's just violence. I'm just asking for violence. When
Exactly. But people have to understand that you open a certain door. You can't just say anything about anybody. And I know we always get on this tangent where I always say like why I don't like the internet or social media or et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But this is one of the reasons because people see it as if there's no real life consequences to the things that you say on air or on the internet or any kind of public platform, as if the public is gonna protect you from whatever the repercussions are.
And the issue is because the internet starts out with no rules.
It's lawless. It's like the Wild Wild West.
And because there's no rules to it, a lot of people are only going off the rules they have for themselves and think that everyone has to adhere to their rules. Like, no.
Not everybody.
A lot of people don't even got rules. To be honest, G. A lot of people don't even got morals.
Principles,
Right.
morals,
You don't got
respects.
those.
Nah.
Right. So if that's the case, and here's the thing, whether your principles, rules, or the lack thereof are right or wrong, you don't get to choose how I adhere to what I think the internet should and should not be.
Facts.
So if we're gonna do this, if we're gonna continue to use this platform, we're gonna continue to use internet in this space, then that means that either two things have to happen. You got to make a decision on what you're gonna be on the internet. That's
Facts.
one. You got to make a decision what you're gonna be on the internet, and then secondly, you gotta make I guess a pact with yourself in terms of when something does pop off on the internet. This is how I will maintain consistent in this way. This is how I maintain consistent. No different than the way it was outside. Because guess what? The rules outside ain't got no rules for real.
And I'll say that with KD, like, he's been consistent. He's been known to slide and say some greasy stuff on the internet whenever he feels
Whether
like
it's been a burner account or whether it's been a real account, bro. He's saying what he wanted.
He's gonna slide regardless.
Authenticity is the word. It didn't seem like KD switched up. It wasn't like he was trying to be hard. It was like,
Exactly.
it felt like this is KD.
Authentically right or authentically wrong?
I was like,
So
damn,
he has been
KD.
consistently all the way
I
through.
don't think none of us were surprised.
No, not at all. I sent it to him and I'm like, hey, I don't think it was that bad as what I thought it'd be. Like, I thought it'd be worse. Honestly, because
Nah, he was talking.
Because-
Honestly, I don't know how it could have been worse than that, but it just, you thought it was going to be worse because you felt the vibe that KD generally gives off. Like,
Right.
No, this is how KD responds to disrespect, and it's all within his right.
here's what I thought. I thought because someone dropped it, and I didn't even think about Michael Rappaport being Michael Rappaport in this moment. I was like, oh, somebody's dropping something that KD said to them. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I've seen KD tweet things live, his own account live, and be like, this I said this and I meant to say this. So if this was in a DM, he must have really like went crazy, and he kind of did. But still, I was like, it's not as bad as I thought.
It's still KD.
Like that's authentically KD. I can live with that.
My biggest issue is, like, don't have a problem. Like, if you don't have a problem disrespecting a man, don't have a problem when he tells you to pull up. Like, that's it off that.
Michael Rappaport has been getting on everybody's show, FS1, all that in the third, and he's been
Just
saying
talking trash on
about
anybody.
every NBA player, every organization.
It almost makes you forget what he does for a living.
I was like, and
I don't know what he does.
he's supposed to be a comedian,
right? He's supposed to, right?
He's a comedian and an actor. Okay.
So he should understand the context in which he's in, and when he sent that, he shouldn't have been upset with the response he got back. Once again, if I'm KD, I'm like, my dude, he owe me 50.
And when I said we were gonna get to that, Kevin Durant got fined 50 bands because of the delete tweets, and 50 bands is still 50 bands. Like, to a person like Kevin Durant, like, yes,
That's like a
he's
parking
still,
ticket. That's sick. Like, but
In
at the end of the day,
comparison
it's
to
still
how
50.
much money he makes, but 50 bands,
I wanted 50
regardless.
bands. I
Like,
want
how
that.
much money I make, I don't care if I'm a billionaire. 50 bands,
I need
still
all
50
of them,
bands,
yeah.
especially if I got 50,000 taken out of my pocket this way.
Right.
Now, was that 50 bands worth it to KD? It would be worth it to me, but
Tomas, I'll do it again.
I would have did that now. I was like, 50 is going to charity. Double it up because I got some more to say. But realistically, I think if I'm KD, I charge it to the game, and I just know like whatever relationship I had with that person, regardless, even if it was just a casual one. If I'm at a function, if you want me at your function, Michael Rappaport can't be there.
Right.
And if you want to play this game, Michael, we'll play it because my name's bigger than yours.
100.
Especially in this field. So I'll be like, yo, if FS1 or whatever, or if TNT or if anybody wants to have Michael Rappaport on their shows, I'll be like, cool, but watch I walk out on all of y'all interviews. If you really wanted to take 50,000 from me and be that petty because you wanted to post screenshots, I could show you how petty I can be. Well, I can blackball you from basketball because I'm arguably the greatest player in the world.
You shouldn't even be talking basketball.
At least not to me. At least not to Kevin Durant. And that kind of manner.
And I think, and we're gonna get to it, and that's the funny thing. We've had this conversation about who's credible and who's not. What credible source is Michael Rappaport at basketball?
At the end of the day, too, like the climate he's in, Michael Rappaport feels comfortable saying stuff like that. Because how often do people just say whatever about basketball players?
Yeah, I was about to say every
day.
24/7.
We'll be like, he's trash, he's this, he's that. We do it every day.
What makes Bill Simmons credible basketball-wise? Say half the things he says.
And Bill Simmons, for everything that he said wrong,
he has great content, mind you, but it's like what gave him that right?
Exactly. What gives Bill Simmons that right is the actual application to his knowledge. Like we've seen, like, oh, he's not only studied this, and granted, he's never played the game, never.
And I'm not saying
like,
you have to.
It's like, you don't have to. You don't have to. You do not. For people listening, you do not have to be an NBA player to talk the game.
That's not what we're saying.
I'm not saying Michael Rappaport does not have
talk the game all the time.
Exactly. Michael Rappaport does not need to be a 5-time All-Star to talk the game of basketball. He doesn't need to be a coach. He doesn't. But the gravity, the platform in which you're given to talk
That's
the
what
game,
I was about to
Stage.
Like,
is
why
where I have a problem.
He's
like,
given this major platform, and it's not like when
he's not even Kendrick Perkins,
and,
dog.
bro. It's not even when other celebrities come on. Like we seen Kevin Hart promoting stuff, and now he's on First Take and etc. And he talks sports. We seen Lil Wayne on there.
You give your 2
and you could
cents.
always look like, why are they reputable in terms of talking sports? But when they get on these shows, they're not blatantly disrespecting these athletes.
Exactly.
So when Michael Rappaport decides to take his comedy or whatever you want to say it and raise it to the extremes in disrespect, this is how some people might take it. And I'm perfectly fine with people taking it like that. I'm perfectly fine with athletes returning disrespect with disrespect.
Because they're real people.
Because they're human beings, and we got to stop treating them like they're just numbers on a jersey. Like there's a name on the back of that jersey. It says Durant.
They feel that,
Like he got feelings, he got emotions, and if he get pissed over it, he has the entire right to be mad over that.
On top of the fact, like you said, like they got a name on the back of the jersey. Like they're carrying their family name, not just them. Like the people they're around. Like
Exactly.
they're real people.
This is a whole conversation. They create narratives. People who talk about the game create narratives on these human beings based upon the 60 minutes they play a game, or every game in, game out. So, for instance, you talking about Kevin Durant, whatever case may be, the only thing they're building this argument off of is what happens between those lines.
Yep.
What happens between those lines? So Michael Rappaport gets to call KD a snake because what's between those lines? Oh, you left OKC to go to Golden State.
For yourself.
Which is low-hanging fruit at this point. I've told a bunch of people now, like, at this point, I do not want to hear those arguments. Same thing with LeBron going to Miami. We gotta let that's low-hanging fruit. The talent is the talent at this point.
Kawhi killed the dynasty already, y'all.
Like,
Move on.
Like, we don't.
Anyways.
I try to just keep going. But like, that's low-hanging fruit.
Facts.
So, but people keep feeding off that and add that to what makes them as a person. Try to feed that into their character.
As if what they do within those 94 feet is somehow a representation of their character as a man.
Yeah, we joke about playoff P, way off P, all that in the third. Honestly, I don't know Paul George as a person, and I can't judge him off of who he is as a person. Now, other people have questions and all that in the thirds. You know, the Currys and Seth and all that. We've heard what he said to him on the court.
Jared Dudley got an infatuation with Paul George.
So, like,
you would have never been able to guard Paul George at any point in time in your life. Jared Dudley, though, too. And I know he'll probably reply and say, I can't. Yeah, I know. but
I know, but
I would hope PG would just take me to the post if I were to be guarding him.
Facts.
But that's what's happened. Arguments and narratives are built based off of what happens in between these lines day in, day out on the court. And then you got guys like Michael Rappaport who takes it to an extreme level of disrespect. And then expect because this has been done in the past, they expect athletes to stay quiet. And the only reason why they can use this as a precedent, like, oh, Charles Oakley didn't say anything. Michael
he didn't
Jordan
have
say
Twitter.
anything.
Let Jordan. Shout out to Brian. Shout out Brian. Let Jordan have Twitter.
If Charles Oakley had an account back then, dog,
He probably be saying, yo,
Bro,
the
what?
most outlandish.
What? Man, what?
the stories I've heard about Charles Oakley trying to just throw hands.
He's with it.
Just cuz type, yeah.
Just cause, like, he like, look, I heard you say something about my teammate.
I wanted a reason to knock you out anyway. And he'll tweet it afterwards.
Nah, like disrespect has become so casual, and I admit I've been.
We all, like I said, we all have become victim to it because that's the environment they set. Like, they make it easy just to talk trash about players, bro. And it's just like, sometimes we just don't enjoy it for what it is, and it's just good basketball.
Exactly.
Yeah, we do compare so often.
We compare so often, like, yo, this, that, and the third. Like, he would trash this guy, or like, yo, he's some mid compared to this guy. What if they're all just good basketball players playing at a high level?
Bro, it's casual culture has really permeated the game so deeply, where all we get is comparisons and contrasts. Is realistically, can we just enjoy what we see? Can we not bring up numbers? Can we watch basketball and enjoy it as entertainment? But no, it has to be. It's kind of like some kind of stock, and I'm not blaming gambling on it, whether it's any kind of these apps where you can gamble on basketball, or I'm not saying it's the investment that we have in championships, but I don't know what to put my finger on. But the sad part is, I don't think the average individual enjoys watching the game of basketball as much as it was in 08, 06, 99.
Nah, they'll take the
time.
highlights out of it. They'll take the its and bits out of like what they want of it. They'll take the, like you said, the trash talk culture of it, or they'll take the highlights out of it. But no one will just watch a game within itself and just enjoy it for what it is.
No, like all I can say is if I burn social media, how many people would still have really?
You gonna burn social
If
media
I burn
too?
social media, how many people would still have an opinion about basketball?
Oh, it'd be a lot
valid
different.
one, a halfway valid one. Like if I said like, all right, we're not gonna record any numbers. You have to actually watch the games.
Yeah.
How many people will put their chest out and speak? What's gonna happen is you're just gonna regurgitate whatever you hear on TV, or you're probably just gonna go and find something else to do. Realistically, I don't think you should talk about it as heavily as some people will. If you don't invest the time to sit down and watch these games, and I'm not saying you have to watch all
Yeah, you ain't honestly
80 plus
I'm
of these
not
games. I'm not
if you don't
watching
have
all
the
of them.
NBA
I got a
League-
life.
If you don't have the NBA League Pass, that's cool. Like you don't have to have the NBA League Pass. You don't have to, sit down and study why Steph Curry is so special
you
from
tell
35
me you
feet
only
out.
if you only watch the nationally televised games on Christmas and the holidays and some of the key playoff games, but you want to talk basketball year round because you watch the highlights and you follow the analytics of it, I'm gonna tell you this podcast ain't for you and to shut up. And I feel bad because every time we start a podcast, I'm always marginalizing the viewers, but realistically, I have to be upfront with people. There's a certain level of seriousness you should have before you give your opinion or your take on something, to where it should be at least backed by experience of personally viewing.
Let me ask
I'll
him.
say this.
Let me ask him real quick, G.
Okay.
But it's not about that though, because at the end of the day, it's for entertainment, it's for clicks, and it's for views. Understand, it's the regular
Sick.
season right now. Everyone's kind of playing at mid-level. You're past like All-Star. You know what I'm saying? March Madness is on. Like these dudes ain't playing at the highest level. What's gonna get entertainment, clicks, and views? Understand, if we're talking about it right now, that means you know what I'm saying. It's the
They got
topic
it.
of discussion.
Yeah.
Narratives. You're
And that's it. Narratives.
and-
That's it.
And the
that-
most intriguing
that's it.
narratives generally surrounded
That's
by
what's gonna bring
disrespect.
money,
Yeah.
bro. Good news, bad news, whatever it is.
People will always love a good beef.
Facts.
Yeah, I do.
Facts.
People
People always love a good beef. Like honestly,
I'm conditioned to it. I do.
all the wars America has been in.
like people
love
always
conflict.
love
one
a good
of the
beef,
best
dog.
things I've ever heard, somebody had asked me, they were like, yo, if it's one of the greatest basketball games going on this court, But then they start breaking out fighting over there. Where you think the crowd is at?
The fight.
And it's always going to be like that. It's always. I don't care who's playing. As soon as a fight breaks out, everything stops and they look at the fight because negativity draws that much attention. Mm-hmm. So I can understand why it's happening. All I'm trying to say is I'm pointing it out as it's being ill.
And I'll say this to a point you made. You just said you marginalize a lot in terms of our audience and all that in the third.
Yeah.
I do not want those people to go away. Personally, I don't. Because
G's like, we need all of them, please.
we need all of those views. We need all those clicks. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. But this is what and this is why I wanted to create this podcast. The reason why we created this podcast is to bring in the casual fans to see the nuances and understand that, oh, what y'all been seeing the game at surface level for, there's a deeper component to it. And you can get to that. And you don't have to be...
If you're willing to change, stay.
And you don't have to be a 10-year vet in the NBA, all that in the third. There's a bunch, and we're not the only podcast out here. I'm about to plug All the Smoke, great podcast. Gilbert Arenas has a great podcast.
No chill.
Am I missing one?
Ball Don't Stop.
Ball Don't Stop.
Stop.
He's a great guy to watch. I'm missing one. Shoot, Bill Simmons got a good podcast when they actually talk.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Like
CJ McCollum.
JJ
Redick got one too.
JJ Redick got a great podcast. Like there's a lot of NBA players who are speaking now, and it's great to hear, and it's great content because they're giving you a look inside. This is more so because I believe that fans and guys who played the game, maybe not at the highest level, but understand the game and play the game, can say, look, we see the game for what it is too, and maybe this comes to y'all at a more of an eye level. Like, we're all kind of the same. No, we're not all millionaires, but guess what? We can talk this game too. And so you can learn the ins and outs and get an in-depth understanding of what this game's supposed to be.
Just be willing to learn it.
Right. So I'll say that to all of them.
So
you don't have to go away. But if you feel like that's the only thing that's drawing you to the game of basketball, anytime you want to watch it or anytime you have anything to say about basketball is because of what Stephen A. said or what Michael Rappaport said, but you ain't never actually talking the game of basketball, I would say look at yourself a little bit.
So basically, if you like talk show basketball too much, or that's the only thing you're infatuated with, you shouldn't be watching basketball.
I think talk show basketball is a problem. I think, and it's funny to say when we have a talk show basketball essentially, but I think that is a problem when it's done wrong.
I think the issue is people substitute the games for the talk show basketball, and that's not what it's supposed to be. This is supposed to be in addition to the games. It's like
like Salt Bay, like
exactly. You know what it is? We had this conversation before the pod. So it's like Spark Notes or Schmoops. Yeah. That's what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to read the book. And then if you have any further questions or inquiries, then you can go to Spark Notes and you get a further analysis. But if you just walk in, like if I had a conversation with somebody about Othello and they only read the Spark Notes, eventually I'm gonna tell like they didn't do their research.
The longer we talk, the more I'm gonna know. All right, this is baseline level.
And with hoops, you can't get away with it that long.
Exactly.
You maybe got 5 minutes in the conversation before somebody realizing you're BSing.
You got 2.5 with somebody.
Talking to you only got 30 seconds.
Talking to Leak, you got you got a minute 30 max.
Like, max. That's only if you're really good at it.
Yeah, like we're gonna get to another topic because we're gonna talk about all the effects of the trades and certain players and certain teams, like and buyout situations and all that in the third. And so I was talking to one dude. We were playing PS5, of course, and I'm talking to.
Stop! Of course, yo, like everyone got it. You see the way he said it? Like everyone got it.
Hey, yo, Keith felt me.
I felt the eyes relax.
And we were playing PS5 like every other rich guy does.
Yeah, because I was just driving to get gas, and I had to put premium in my Bentley.
Y'all make me sick. I'm playing 2K. I'm having a conversation with a guy
on the PS5.
Playing 2K, and we start talking about the trade of Aaron Gordon. Mm-hmm. And so he was like, I don't know if Aaron Gordon's going to be as good as Jeremy Grant. Now, I'm listening. I wasn't talking.
Said that?
Don't worry about it.
Hey, 42 Doug whistle.
Doesn't matter. 42
Doug. I think I know who said that.
It wasn't me.
Was it Brian?
No, it wasn't me. I don't think it was me. I think
he was ready to get violent. Leak was ready to get violent.
Was it B? If Brian would said that. LeBron, I don't think Brian would say that.
Brian said some wild stuff. I don't think he'll say something that wild.
I got him saying that. He said worse. He said worse.
Fair.
We've all said
Larry
something
Bird times
crazy.
10.
I'll
all said
defend my
something, yeah.
cousin who's not here. We've all said some wild stuff on
Some
this
more
show.
than others, but
some
yeah.
more than others.
I remember my crazy.
This is the attack show, B. You're not here. This is the attack
What
show.
was my wild thing I said? I don't think I've said anything wild. If anything, my Heat thing recently came about.
We can go back.
What you
probably
said-
said something.
What was
It's
it?
definitely so.
Scotty McGrady?
Oh, Scotty Mc, what is it?
Scotty McGrady?
Scotty Paul Grady, yeah.
Yeah.
As of now, that was still a wild statement.
That's the wild. That was
fair
wild.
enough. Fair enough.
All right. So he says that, and I'm like, no. I actually believe that Aaron Gordon is definitely good enough to be just as good or better than
He's gonna
Jeremy
be
Grant.
better than him.
Bro, they're
And
undefeated right now.
He was like,
But what are we talking about? Aaron Gordon right now is better than Jeremy Grant.
And
I like
right now,
Jeremy Grant.
he was like,
but-
he
Right
said
now.
he said defensively, I don't see it, and he really can't shoot. I said right now he's shooting from the outside. I think 35% from three. You can quote me. About 35% from three. Like he's actually shooting really good, and he has the perfect size to defend and guard almost.
He
1
can
through
guard
5.
better though. When I seen him against the
Like-
Nets, I was like, why are you? I know Kyrie, like everyone against Kyrie's a hot plate of food. I understand that, but he really made him look like a whole entree. Like he was really cooking it.
It happens.
Buffet.
It happens to the best of them. It's Kyrie.
It's Kyrie Irving.
It happens to the
Now,
best.
one
of
time
them.
he snatched. He was like, I don't even feel like closing out. He just put his head down. Like I was like, come on, bro. Like that. I do agree with that. He could defend at a higher level. Like for as athletic as he is, like
But that doesn't necessarily make him a bad defender. Like,
No,
if
it
you're going
doesn't.
off one instance where he guarded Kyrie Irving, the best ball handler to ever touch a rock, almost, or I would say,
I'll say this. He's
best guy to ever ball handle touch
Big,
a rock.
big
like-
shout out AI, but
He's an inconsistent defender. I've seen moments where it's like, okay, like you're really on it, and then there's times where it's like, yo, you don't want to guard a soul today.
But the one thing I can say is this is the first situation I said it about Kyrie and KD where they wanted to be somewhere. But this, in terms of Aaron Gordon, this is the first time he's in a winning situation, like, period.
Yeah,
I get
Orlando
it.
was not it, yeah.
Magic, woo! Yeah, they got the AC in a
wasn't
couple
a winning
years. Like, that
situation. That's not
wasn't
a winning
winning.
situation.
Like, people got to realize just because you make the playoffs, we all expect you to get bounced when you're the 8th seed.
Right.
That's not a winning situation. That's more so of a thumbs up. Y'all are getting better.
pat on the back type.
Like, you get a sticker. But
Good job, Jimmy. You scored
now
today.
that he's with the Nuggets,
Facts.
a team that who has gotten the 2 seed before, they've reached heights way too soon. They have an MVP candidate. Like realistically, with this starting 5 on the Nuggets, you could look at them and you could say, I'll put them up against almost any starting.
No,
5 in the
anybody, and
league.
don't let a team be hurt. A championship contending team in the West be hurt right now.
They could
they
sneak.
can take your spot. They
I wouldn't be
showed it.
silent. If the Nuggets are clicking, I wouldn't be surprised if they get the Clippers again. I wouldn't be surprised if
They get the Lakers almost. They're not
if
healthy. The
we're
Lakers are
hurt,
not healthy.
No doubt.
With this team, now the fact that they do got Aaron Gordon and they got JaVale, I was like, dang.
It's scary. It's
Low
scary.
low key, and Gary Harris is out of there. Low key, this Nuggets team might be better than last year's Nuggets team.
It is.
Yeah.
it
And
is.
PJ has a full NBA year.
And he's
They're
comfortable
undefeated
now.
since he got
and he's
there.
better than Kuzma.
They're undefeated since
Yeah,
he's
for
got
sure.
there.
He's been. Yeah,
I think.
but yeah.
I
just had to
since
say it again.
He's only played 3 games, and that's what I said. I said they haven't lost a game since he's been there. They've undefeated since they made the trade. He's only played 3 games. I double checked it before we started the show. He's only played 3 games. They're 5-0 since the trade. This works. Aaron Gordon can hoop, and so
We all knew that.
But that's what happens. You have a conversation with somebody, and we say everyone knew that. But then you have a conversation with somebody and say, is he really that good? I'm like, no, he's just been to Orlando. And if you're not checking for Orlando, if you're not checking for what's going on down there, you're gonna forget that Nikola Vucevic is an all-star. You're gonna forget that Aaron Gordon can be a special.
Evan Fournier is a
talent.
bucket.
Evan Fournier is a bucket, even though he had an awful debut with Boston.
Yeah, but
Oh, for sure.
He bounced back.
He came back. Boston,
came back
he was
strong.
playing
Came back
again.
strong.
He bounced back.
But
Terrence Ross was low-key somebody I've always wished the Clippers could steal.
yeah,
You've been saying that for a couple months, yeah.
Y'all
but
could use him so bad right now.
Oh, yeah, we could. But I don't know if it would be the worst day, him and Paul George playing bad together. It would be the worst to look
Oh,
at.
it'd be nothing but missed trades. They'll go
Yeah,
for like 2
yeah.
for 16 from
If people
trades.
always talk about building a brick house. That would be a glass house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them two.
Big Bad Wolf blew that down real quick.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, with their trades, they're not always open. They're just, some of them are
They're
tough.
contested long threes off the dribble and off the
Some of them, they're open too, and it's like, you didn't have to miss that bad.
yeah.
Like off the backboard. Off the backboard.
I know you can hit that shot, but what happened there? Like,
So yeah, both of them together.
but I think that's what happens, and so you have instances and examples like that, and it's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna educate you real quick, and I hope I don't sound, I guess, rude or
You already said enough
condescending,
already.
all that in the third, but that's what it ends up being. So it is what it is.
It is what it is.
No, you got to take the time to especially if it's somebody that you know or whatever, because I have those conversations with my cousin a lot. Shout out Woody. I remember especially surrounding the Kyrie thing. He was like, "Oh, he's just stealing money," when he was like missing those games, and I was like, "That's not how NBA contracts work, bro. Let me sit down and tell you, he's not stealing money. He's not receiving anything because he's not playing because of X and Y and Z." But no, it's always, in terms of certain people, it's always cool to just sit down, educate them about what you know, and we don't know everything. We're learning just like everybody else is, but it's a time where you don't always have to be hostile when you're teaching somebody something. So that's what you're describing. But realistically, people got to stop looking at some of these NBA talents as if they're bums or don't have any anymore, a.k.a. Blake Griffin. Shout out Manny.
Oh, yeah, that's my ill take.
You really thought he couldn't dunk anymore, bro?
I ain't
This
say
man
that. I thought
jumped
you could come
over a
back and make
Kia.
it.
Yeah,
You thought he was just not going to dunk at the age of 31.
now he's catching lobs. And
I just thought Detroit just slurped the rest of the talent off him, like, you know what I'm saying?
really
Y'all seen
thought
off some Space Jam thing.
You really thought that? You really thought he was done?
I thought he was done for. But the thing is, like, you understand, like, situations like that, it's easy to look good.
Guess what? Guess what class you're in?
I would look good if I played them Brooklyn. Put a jersey on me.
No, real quick. Guess what class you're in? Guess who?
Don't do it.
You're in the casual.
You in the class with B, man. Not a casual. You in the class with Brian.
is that what he said about Blake?
He thought Blake was
You
done.
thought Blake was here.
Oh, yeah, we were here. Yeah. So
And I
I'm in
looked
the
at him
same
like,
class because I
On that-
shared
on that
one take with
topic,
B.
on
I
on
shared
On this
one.
topic,
You're on the side with B on this side.
I still remember you being on the mellow side, so I got you.
Real one.
I got you.
Thank you. That's crazy.
Manny did also tell me LaMelo was going to be the best baller.
I told him, bro. I told these dudes, what was it?
We were
2017.
I was about to say, yeah.
I said in
This might have been
2017.
at James.
You know what I'm saying? When
we
you,
gotta talk about that right now.
bro, I knew he was gonna be good.
He definitely trashed LaMelo Ball, so you're definitely out of his class.
Bro, it's just like y'all gotta understand. If you're an 8th grader playing on 17s, you're gonna glow. You don't have no choice, even if you're
fair.
shooting it from your hip.
Fair.
Come on, bro.
LaMelo got talent. Hope he gets well soon.
Facts. He's next.
Yeah, but in terms of players of Aaron Gordon caliber, they still have talent, regardless of what the stat sheet says. Sometimes it's always situations. And I tell people a lot of that is
Being seen.
or being, because sometimes
seen.
what we always say when we have the small market versus big market argument,
Yeah.
and why a lot of talent leaves the small market is because they're not getting appreciated enough in that small market. They miss all-star games. They don't get the accolades they should. That affects their bread too. A lot of people don't even realize that they can't get these all NBA teams regardless of the numbers they're putting up. Sometimes
Bro.
it's just like, yo, you have to get out of that situation.
It's sports though in general. Like me and Lee talk about all the time because we're in grassroots basketball, high school, obviously, but especially with even kids, like your development is very situational. Depending on what situation you're in, you can be in a totally different spot. You could play at that D1 level, or you might not even go to school, or you might go JUCO. Like it just really like it's very environmental and it's very situational. Like you said, Aaron Gordon was getting love, so no one's checking for him. You know what I'm saying? Like if people putting that confidence in you, that means everything.
I've heard conversations with, and we're way off topic because we supposed to get on Stephen A. Russell Westbrook.
Oh yeah, we gotta get there. We gotta get there. My bad.
But I heard a conversation about one of the talented hoopers I knew, and he played high school, all that in the third. Super talented. Check the numbers. Go back and check the newspapers when he put the numbers in the newspapers back then, and all that in the third. Like
Y'all kids
you would
don't
see,
know nothing about that.
You would see like stat lines crazy.
No,
He ended up not getting that many looks, not because he wasn't hooping, but because the coach didn't keep film.
Yeah, it be coaches like that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, dang, bro.
doing
like,
your job.
Like,
Basically, a coach not doing his job.
I'm thinking this is, in my mind, I'm like, I looked at him, I said, that's a D1 bench player at the least. Like, least.
Bare minimum.
Bare
What
minimum
school he went to?
D1. He ended up going to
High school.
He went to one of the schools. I'm not going.
We'll talk about off air because I think
I'm not
I know
gonna-
who you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Bare minimum D1 bench player for sure. Ended up going to a smaller D2 school, coming off the bench all in the third. Really didn't work out. I mean, and then kind of jumped all over the place. But can hoop. Clear as day can hoop. And I think that happens sometimes.
It happens a lot.
And
It's not even sometimes. It happens a lot. On all levels. On all levels.
kids every day.
All levels. So how many talented kids miss their opportunity, or how many talented ball players in general that we have overlooked or underrated, all because of the strength of
Wrong situation. Bro, Kevin Porter Jr., shout out my guy, bro. Imagine if he was still in Cleveland. We wouldn't be seeing none of this.
Right.
He looks like he's up next, like Harden Jr. type. We wouldn't have knew this if he didn't get the trade, or he didn't get waived.
No, the most definitive situation I saw in terms of situations, we saw Isaiah Thomas with the Kings, with the Suns, et cetera, et cetera. He went to Boston and became an MVP candidate. That's situational. That's when you have somebody believe in you, somebody who instills faith in you. And this is something that Gilbert Arenas talks about all the time. Gilbert came in the league, we get it. Great player. He was killing the Valley in California. Like, he was just one of those people that just, you knew he could hoop. But Gilbert didn't become agent zero until the coach was like, here, go.
To the league.
And sometimes you just need that. Like Jeremy Lin, when Mike D'Antoni was like, all right, Melo's hurt. I need somebody to be my muse. Like, we'll just let this kid rock out because he got hot that game. And then he just started going on the street, beat Kobe, gave him 30 plus, hit some game winners. Like, there was a time where he looked Kobe off when he played for the Lakers to hit a game. It's all about instilling confidence at certain points. Now, as a player, yes, you have to have that confidence to think, I'm going to take and make this shot.
Right. And you got to prepare yourself to take and make those
You have to put in those gym reps. But there's also a counter degree where I always bring up this situation. I forgot who they were playing. Buddy Hield hits like near 30-footer, one possession. All right. The Kings take whoever they were playing take a timeout. The Kings coach, was it Luke? I don't think it was Luke at that time.
I think it might have been Luke.
I feel like it was either him or Dave Yeager, but
It was one of them.
I don't think Dave Yeager would have did.
I think it was Luke.
I think
it was Luke.
Chewed him out on the sideline about taking. Mind you, he hit the shot. The very next possession, and this is for like game.
Yeah.
Very next possession, he has it around the same spot. Takes a look at it, and you could see him thinking about what the coach said. Takes a look like he wants to shoot it and doesn't. And they lose that game, but realistically, they lost not because Buddy didn't shoot. They don't lose because of anything that happened on the floor. They lost because of what was said to the person who actually had the high hand who should have shot the shot. The confidence wasn't instilled into him from the coaching staff. So that's a big part of the reason. People got to realize the players on the floor, it's not like they just hear what the coach says, it goes in one ear and out the other, and they do whatever on the floor because they're the players. Coaches coach for a reason. Now, coaches can mess up, and that was a mess up. You have to instill faith in your players.
They're not robots, man. They're not robots. These are human beings.
Real people. Nah, a lot of times we forget that. Like, it's very tough to be in the league. Like, the criticism, you know
For
what I'm saying?
millions.
The fatigue, you know what I'm saying? You're playing 80 games. I get sore from playing 4 pickup games. Can I be in better shape? Yeah, but that's a different story. Regardless, you know what I'm saying? That is tough. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand how hard it is. Like, even the way we bash Kemba Walker, like, Kemba Walker is my size. He's been in the league for like 10 to 12 plus years.
Yeah. And he's a bucket. And he's
Moving
an
the way
NCAA
he
legend.
moves, you know what I'm saying? I study the body a little bit. I'm not saying I'm an athletic trainer or major or nothing like that, but I study the body a little bit. Moving the way he moves on a consistent basis, you're gonna get hurt.
Yes. Yes.
Being 5'10" and moving like that,
But we're still expecting 25 and 10, and we don't see anything when we see something short of that, we're like, okay, he's trash now. He's a real person.
He's trash.
But he's trash.
But that's how people talk.
He's trash. $100 million guy, but he's trash.
But he's trash though, exactly. We do it all the time. And like I said,
and
social media, everything around it, media in general, like, it just creates that environment where it's easy to say that, but it's like, yo, like, these dudes are special and they're elite.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a shout out to all my dudes playing in the NBA for real. Like,
Nah, for real.
We don't give them enough credit, bro.
We don't. I don't think we do. I think sometimes we get caught up in the critiques and the criticism, and I think this is what happened with Stephen A. and Russell Westbrook.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Stephen,
Good segue.
That was a great segue.
It's a good segue, my guy.
I got you.
Look at us bring. See, this is why he hosts.
Come on.
So, Russell Westbrook dropped a historic
35, 21, and something.
Yeah.
Triple-double.
Is it better than the 2020?
I was saying it wasn't better than that one, but that was so
That's a
fabricated.
debate.
But whatever.
That's a debate.
I love
For
that
everything, the
2021.
impact of that moment and all, I think that's why it weighs heavy.
I think the anniversary is his passing just passed by, so R.I.P. Nip.
RP Nip.
So I think that weighs heavily on me. So I think I'm always going to give that 2020.
No, that was the best game of Russell Westbrook's career in terms of regular season.
Yeah, I might give that the edge. But 35, 21, 14.
21, 14.
That's stupid.
Insane. And yes, I know a lot of people in the comments or who have commented on this will say Russell Westbrook's the stat sheet stuffer. His stats mean less. All that in the third.
A lot of y'all couldn't do that with the gym with no one playing defense.
Do you know how hard it is? A lot of y'all can't do that on 2K with the sliders up.
Straight up.
How hard it is to go 10 and 10. Like, just get
10 and 10. Just 10 and 10 alone.
Just
Yeah.
10 points, 10 boards. Like
A double in itself is hard. Like
consistently.
it's
He's
hard.
averaged a triple-double in like
The last 4 years,
And I
dude.
get it.
Like-
I don't think his stats impact winning as much as some other people does. But in terms of just him being that aggressive in everything that he does, impacting or at least trying to impact every area on the floor, he's a Hall of Famer. I have to give up big ups to Russ. Now, does the way he played generate wins? That's a debate for another time. Cause I'm big up in him right now. But that game, 35 plus points, 21 assists. There's nothing I can say bad about that.
So
I think they won that game too.
they won that game. So after the game, the next following day, of course, all media circuits will talk about this and First Take hit on it. And Stephen A pretty much stated, because I don't feel like reading this quote, he pretty much saying that he does not care. He does not care, and that Russell Westbrook should only be concerned, in part, he should only be concerned in what he does in the postseason and capturing a ring, because that is what his talent would what's where I'm looking for, garner. That's the only thing he can garner now. You've done the triple doubles, you've done all of that numbers wise.
MVP.
You've been MVP.
Yeah, you did everything you can except win a ring.
Except win a ring, so this doesn't matter. Go get a ring.
But this is the same Stephen A who has a problem with the Brooklyn Nets getting people. And this is what I say about casual culture in terms of we're mad at super teams forming. And when I say we, I don't literally mean me. Yeah. I don't care. I'm all in support of winning. Y'all heard me say this on this pod 1,000 times, but you can't keep saying like, you did everything, now it's time to get a ring, and then get mad when people do whatever to get a ring. So if Russell Westbrook decided to force his way out of the Wizards, I understand the trade deadline's over, et cetera, but if he decided to force his way to a trade or something like that,
we would villainize him.
Like if he ended up on the Bucks, he doesn't want to compete anymore. He doesn't blah. Like
I feel like in this era, everyone would just be cool with it because the mobs are so stacked up at this point that no one cares.
You would think that, but then everybody always cares unless
It's the way you exit. Like say you exit like the way Harden exit, or you say the way you exit the way Anthony Davis didn't get that much burn, but he went out kind of crazy.
You know why
too.
he didn't? You know why he didn't get enough
Because you went to
burn?
clutch, and there was Bron.
Boom.
That's that name, LeBron. LeBron had a whole decision on national TV about leaving and joining a super team. Caught mad heat for it initially.
He never had a signing day. I ain't mad at him for it, bro. He just wanted his signing day.
That's all that was.
Fair, but
Because Miami was deemed his college years.
But fair. But we're looking at it as this. When you speak about basketball, do you think that you're in the minority or the majority of people who talk about basketball?
Minority for the most part.
And that's the way that we think. So when LeBron does something like this, including AD, it's not going to be looked at with such hate or vindictiveness. It's more so, this is LeBron. He has the biggest fan base in basketball in the world, arguably of all time outside of Jordan. And it helped him win. So no, nobody's going to villainize AD for pushing his way out.
I mean, but at the end of the day, too, like I said, we said it early in the podcast, it's about narratives. Like, we're going to victimize and villainize who we want to match, you know what I'm saying, the mass majority storyline of how they want the season or they want how certain things to go in the NBA. It's just what it is.
And that's what I'm saying. If you took a poll.
Like, LeBron's going to be the NBA's baby till he leaves. Like, we know this. It's never going to change.
That's why people are going to villainize certain moves.
Russ is always going to be that hard-headed dude that's never going to win a ring. That's what we going. That's the tag we're going to put on him, bro, and that's going to be
KD
it.
like he's the snake. It's just hard to escape narratives.
And that, what you just said, is what Russell Westbrook and his wife Nina Westbrook hit on.
Yeah.
They didn't hit on the fact that Stephen A. didn't have any merit to, I guess, his thought process on why.
It's the angle which you took, and
it's the angle in which you take it and say, "Oh no, we don't care about 35, 21, and 14, no matter how."
Because you're this, and this.
Because we already labeled you as this inefficient.
Yeah.
Can't shoot the three.
Can't shoot. Hard-headed. Doesn't know
Low
how.
IQ.
Doesn't know how to play with his teammates. You'll never be. You're a loser. You're not a champion. And they're like, wait a minute. If you're gonna take this route about it, if you're gonna attack me as a person again,
like I don't go hard every day for
based on this game, and that's what Max said. Max spoke. He's like, I'm disappointed in you, Stephen A. I'm disappointed in the fact that you would assume.
Why Max be holding it down?
In the most random occasions.
It'd be random. It'd be random. But when he does hold it down, it's like
it's almost like
this guy brings it day in, day out. He's never cheated the game.
He's never.
Now, granted, is he what we all want him to be, the most optimal way? No. Yeah. Brian would be the first one to tell you that Russell Westbrook is an inefficient ball player and he should be better. He should make more free throws. He should be able to shoot from three better. He should develop certain parts of his game so that he didn't rely on his athleticism so much. I'm pretty sure that Russell Westbrook can look at his own stats and because he's so high IQ and because he understands his game and he's a world-class athlete, world-class ball player, he could tell you the same thing. My free throws should be higher.
Facts.
I probably could hit more threes.
Facts.
He's not stupid. He knows how to play this game. But you're not going to sit there and say like, oh, he's not quality athlete. He's not quality ball player. All those numbers are fake because he hasn't won a ring yet, or he's been bounced out of the first round, or anything like that, or his MVP no longer matters. He needs a Finals MVP. He needs a ring now for
you've done it.
For all that now to matter.
The goalposts always change in terms of what makes you a great player.
All the accolades now that he's already built up no longer matters until he gets that ring.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Until he gets that ring.
But now
he has to retire for us to now want to say, oh, this is what you've done. We can now respect it for what it is. But in the moment, no. This does not. That MVP doesn't matter. The averaging triple doubles doesn't matter. None of that matters.
No, but Russ touched on it on the interview too. He touched on it. He was like, I understand I'm catching this heat because of the type of player I am. If I was mid, no one would be talking about me like this.
Exactly.
He's like, I know I'm elite, so they're gonna hold me to this type of standard. So they're gonna talk the way they're gonna talk.
Manny, Leak, and I have had this conversation all the time. Russ is a dog. And in terms of his personality and character, one of our favorite NBA players in the league. He's real. Mm-hmm. He's always been like that. Always will be. From the way he's held media interviews, to the way he approached the game, to the way everything about him was just consistently authentic. Where if you're not with me, you're against me. It's Russ. Can his game grow? For sure. Even at the Hall of Fame level that he's at, we're still looking at him like there's more improvements that you can make. Is he a Hall of Famer?
It's the way they go about it, though.
Down.
They just be throwing salt in his aim. Like, that's the crazy part. Like, Stephen A. didn't have to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they be taking, like, lower digs than they should.
Realistically, I can ask this question about Stephen A. When's the last time we can remember him saying anything positive about anybody? And that's my issue.
But I'm saying that doesn't get views. That don't get clicks. I don't get none of that. That's just media in general.
That's not analyzed.
He's an industry baby now. I let that go a long time ago. He's an industry baby now.
That's sick.
I'll be fair. There have been moments where Stephen A. has been positive. He has spoke positive of players, of coaches, and all that. I
don't get views.
There's been true fact, but he has been positive. I'm not gonna say when's the last time. I'm pretty sure in the last episode, he probably said something positive. So let's do that real quick. But when you know the magnitude of which you do your job and the platform you're on, you cannot just be so dismissive in the manner that he was to that situation.
I'm not going to say dismissive. I'm going to use a stronger word. It's irresponsible. Because you influence a lot of people who watch your show. Like, First Take is always one of the biggest shows of ESPN. Like, he's ESPN's darling. We've all sat here on this pod and said, like, he held ESPN down for years when they didn't have quality content along all of his shows. He was ESPN's
he was the most
golden
consistent
child.
for a little bit, yeah.
And that's why he got that bag. And we all supported him.
He had got to that point, even within ESPN, like going back to the early 2000s, like he was Allen Iverson's dude. Mm-hmm. He was Allen Iverson's Woj.
Nah, facts. Like, mind you, that's when he was like, he wasn't even in like, he used to be like on TV with it. Now he was on the floor with it. Like,
Yeah.
he don't even be on the floor no more.
Like, unless
kick
it's like
with
a
the
big
dudes no
event
more.
like a finals.
He ain't around the hood no more.
Yeah, he don't kick it in the hood no more. He used to be on the court with it, bro. You remember that? Like, it was every other time. I was like, okay, I'm gonna see him up there, then I'm gonna see him on the court. Like every other time type.
The same way I'm sure you see him, because you're super into the media. Chris Haynes with
Yeah.
Yahoo.
Huge fan of
he's
Chris
breaking. Yeah, he's breaking all the like elite dude stories as of recent for the most part. He was the one that broke the Kawhi PG news. He breaks a lot of Dame stuff, anything big related to that. That's what Steven was at one point in time.
He had all the sources to connect.
And I kind of look at Stephen A. and I'm like, dude, how can you, in this day and age, how can you talk about Kyrie in the way you do, but if you actually knew this man, you knew he looked up to the dude that got you big.
Hey, Lee.
Yeah, for sure. And that's exactly what it is. And it's just like, yo, the respect that you show this man. Like, you didn't retire your mother off of Allen Iverson. The dude that you're saying needs to retire looked up to AI. Wouldn't be who he is without your guy.
But you talking down on his name crazy. Like, you're not a human being. Mind you, if you were so connected to the players like you say you are, you would be able to talk to Kyrie like, yo, dude, what you going through type. The fact that you're skipping games like this. And if you're good with the players like that, they might be able to give you some insight.
That's a fair point to make, but I think I think it's more of a human level. Like, I don't even think you have to be connected to the players to realize that just because somebody's missing games or for reasons that were unannounced,
I'm saying specifically for his role, just off the fact that he's our liaison between the players.
Yeah, he should definitely handle it better. But even if he wasn't, to make a statement that he made, since we were talking about Kyrie, to tell him to retire. Can you imagine telling somebody at that level of their game and you have no idea why they're missing games?
His numbers might not reflect it so, but he's in his prime, bro. I'm seeing Kyrie do some things I haven't seen before, bro.
This is arguably his most efficient year.
This is the most best Kyrie I've ever seen, bro.
Best season.
And you're telling him to retire because of what? No public apology because he was public enemy number one then?
And no apology, yeah. Like you said, no apology.
Like, it's like, nah, I said it with my chest, I was wrong, but I ain't gonna never admit that. Like, that's what I don't understand about the media is that there's not enough people checking the media.
Apologies aren't cool either.
Checks and balances.
Yes, sir.
And that's when it's out of hand. And that's why you have people like Kevin Durant saying, all right,
if y'all not gonna check them,
I'm gonna have to over-check some people.
Bro, and then also understand this too, squashing beef or just apologizing, that's not good for the media either. Like, imagine if 6ix9ine was just like, yo, I've been doing a lot of dirt. I'm sorry, y'all.
Media 6ix9ine?
What are we gonna do? Bro, what are we gonna do with that?
Right, take away his witness protection.
Yeah, what are we gonna do with that?
You want to apologize to these dudes? All right, then go hang out with them then.
Straight up, bro. Like, what are we gonna do with that? It's like, okay, you're no value no more. Like, it's just like media and everything around, like, just entertainment is very ego driven. If you don't have that ego behind it, it's like we're good off it. We don't care.
And I understand that to some people at home who know Stephen A. Smith and who he is, it's kind of like as if we're painting him as, I don't know, Satan personified in basketball media, but it's not that case. The reason why we're so harsh on him, because I think I can speak for everybody.
Because we remember when you were like commentating Kobe and them. Like,
I remember when you were our favorite person to hear about basketball from. I remember coming home from high school and it wasn't pardon the interruption. It wasn't around the horn. It was like, wow, I can't wait for the rerun of First Take that I missed because it came on in the morning.
Exactly.
I remember when I just wanted, I was like, oh, he about to shut Skip Bayless up today. It was kind of faith and belief and hope that I got to see this black man on TV just going. And he was so passionate. They let him be himself. And now it just seems as if all of the air of authenticity I saw, I'm not going to say it's gone, but it's been masked with a whole lot of disrespect where it came out of left field. I feel blindsided. I think as a fan of Stephen A., it makes me sick. And I think that's why I have this energy towards him, because it wasn't like I was just waiting for him to mess up. I was rooting for him to succeed in all areas of his career.
Yeah.
And he hasn't held up to that promise, or at least to what I thought he would be, or at least what I knew he was.
Right.
When I was supporting him.
But I'm saying, you gotta understand the position he's in.
You don't have to do it consistently, but to make this drop off?
I think this is what has to happen, because we've been on this too long. We pretty much started when we were with Michael Rappaport, but I think for media, there has to be some level of internal accountability in terms of how we go about doing our jobs. And I think that, and I say our because we have a platform now. If 250 people subscribe to this podcast, and they come in and tune in whenever they feel like it for any reason on any topic, whether it's a react video, whether it's this podcast, there's a level of accountability you have to have for yourself and for the people around you that do this job.
I think it's just tough though too. It's just a slippery slope because what you say like might just offend other people. Like we can go back like what? This is 60th episode, right? Mm-hmm. We can find something within these 60 episodes that's gonna offend somebody.
Oh,
no doubt. No doubt.
We can check those first 30 right now.
No doubt.
You know what I'm
no
saying?
doubt. And
it's a slippery slope.
And when I'm saying accountable, I'm saying there has to be a level of responsibility in terms of sound judgment and how we go about talking about these athletes.
Okay, so basically not defamating somebody's character.
Exactly.
There's a difference between criticism and defamation.
Okay.
Right. And I think for the wow factor, Skip Bayless is great at this now. For the wow factor, I'm just spewing out things to see if it sticks.
Venom type.
Just to be like, oh, I cannot believe.
It's the theory behind the hot take.
Right. And here's the thing.
The theory of hot take.
Here's the funny thing. Hot takes can be educated.
Yeah.
They can be educated, Lee.
Facts.
I don't have to say no. I don't have to say this dude is da 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 da. I don't have to.
But you gotta understand, stuff like that is so thought provoking and it has to be so unique, and it's just easier just to be like, I'm gonna bash this guy, because like Tamon said earlier, people are attracted to negativity.
I don't have to tell a man to retire in order to say that I don't
It's
agree.
easy though, but I'm saying, it's so easy.
Or I don't have to call every NBA player who signs with the Nets soft because, you know, he wanted to get a ring when he's 35 years old. LaMarcus Aldridge is 35, I think. Like, that's not how it works. That's not sound judgment. But I can say I don't agree with this in a manner that has a wow factor, that isn't hot take, and is educating to be like, you know what, LaMarcus Aldridge, I don't rock with that move.
There's a way to disagree without being disrespectful.
Once again, like I said, it's just lazy though. Like, because once again, the way you're going about it, I have to really think about what I'm saying before I say it.
God forbid, though, right? God forbid we have to think about what.
I gotta think before I speak.
But I'm saying that's what I'm saying.
The world don't like doing that.
It's too, like I said, it's too easy.
But the thing is,
it's easier for me just to bash Leak right now, and I'm gonna get y'all two's attention. It's just easier, bro.
But just because it's easier doesn't mean much. It's a whole lot of easier ways to do a whole lot of things. Man, you go to the gym, right? Why you don't take steroids? All right, then.
Side effects.
But that's my whole point. That's
side effects.
And what's the side effects of negativity? Eventually, like, people are gonna be off you. Eventually, you're gonna lose your connects. You're gonna lose your sources. Nobody's gonna rock with you. It's gonna come, and maybe it comes slow because you're a big name like Stephen A. or etc.
But in the meantime, they're gonna run it up, bro, because it's easy.
In the meantime, you're gonna run it up. But what's on the back end? Like, I don't know. The way I look at things is when people talk about my name, when I'm not around, when I'm not in the room, when I'm gone from this earth, what are the things they're gonna remember? Are they gonna remember telling me to tell a grown man to retire from his dreams and the career that he's arguably one of the top 5 to 10 best players in the league in? Are they gonna remember me being disrespectful X, Y, and Z? Or are they gonna remember me uplifting, giving my honest opinion, giving my criticism, and growing and honestly acknowledging when I'm wrong? Because I think that's the difference, because a lot of times we've been slanderous. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I'm not a hypocrite. I've been slanderous.
I've been mad slanderous on this show at times. But the thing is, if you look me in my face and you say, hey, T, remember when you said this, and this? I'd be like, yeah, I was wrong about that. For sure.
That's something I'll give you credit for. Like, if you said something, you're like, okay, that was wrong, I own up to it.
I was like, that was
most
wild.
of us in here, like, no, I'm not gonna say most of all of us. For the most part, we'll own up, like, okay, I said some grimy stuff, or like, that was just wrong.
Right.
I thought that take was right, but it was wrong. Like,
But
we own up to it.
people don't want to admit their wrongs in front of millions. And we have to, while we talk about athletes having to perform in front of millions and being criticized by millions, we also have to realize, like, the media, they're being watched by just as many people. So somebody like Stephen A. saying that I was wrong about something, the difference is it damages their credibility to somewhat degree, because some people might look at it like, oh, wow, he missed that he's wrong on, what else is he wrong about? They're going to be wrong. They're humans. That's why I'm not going to sit here and act like Stephen A. is like the worst person on earth.
Exactly.
He just, at a certain point, you have to take accountability.
And at that point, and I think that's all I'm asking for at this point from that situation. And like I said, Nina Westbrook responded. She had some statements on the situation and on not on the situation.
Hey,
but
shout out Nina too. She real.
And she made her statements and said, like, you can't discredit what my husband has done in the league and what he has done for the community because his time in the league and what he's done as a person through, him being in the league, based on, I guess your desires of what you want him to become in the league. Like, that's not allowed. I won't allow it. All that in the third. Stood by her guy. And so I thought that was really the exclamation point. I didn't really care about what Stephen A had to say about, in response to them, because I thought that was exclamation point. That kind of killed everything.
Shout out to a strong black woman.
I was just about to say, like, shout out to all the women in sports, because to be quite honest, they generally speak better than the men when it comes to a lot of the takes.
They do.
At least more thoughtfully.
They know how to portray it, and they know how to articulate in a way where they're not disrespecting nobody, and you know what I'm saying, it hits home.
It's the reason why when Candace Parker speaks,
Coming for Chuck Job.
she be making some sense.
Yeah,
She coming for Chuck Job.
and they don't like that.
They don't
like that.
but she
Excuse me, Chuck. I actually watched these games today.
Shaq was like, they need to throw it in the post to Rudy. Candace was like, but we shoot threes today.
Yeah.
Facts.
She was like, let's lower the rims. And she was like, shut up.
Shut up. We don't. My daughter will be punching that in transition.
All right. I'm off that. I'm tired of it. Long story short, checks and balances, man. Checks
and balances,
man.
The word of the day is accountability, y'all.
Accountability. That's a word every day for me.
Hey, whether it's in basketball or life, hold yourself accountable, all right? Don't skip corners.
Heard it there first from Mumbo Sauce, man. You Mumbo Sauce today?
Mumbo Sauce, Manny, Six Man Manny, Manny Fresh, Africa McConaughey, whatever you want to call me.
Black Zach Morris, Black Michael Phelps. We can get on all of the.
I have many different aliases, whatever you want to call me, man.
We will have to get a rundown of all of them. But let's get to the actual hoops, because we have not really got to any hoops.
Yeah, we did. My bad, y'all.
You see what the social media stuff be doing to basketball?
Bro, yeah, just taking away the game.
And
Hey, we had to spend an hour just like, hey, stop it.
Nah, facts.
Stop it.
But trade deadline is passed.
Yes, sir.
Andre Drummond is a Laker. LaMarcus Aldridge is now a Brooklyn Net. He was bought out by the San Antonio Spurs. Aaron Gordon, we talked about the trades and all that in the third. Two things I want to bring up. One, what move has been the most impactful to y'all? And if y'all have, I guess, the same thought process on what that move is, y'all can stick with it. Y'all can just kind of, I guess, talk on that note. And two, let's just start with that.
Impactful?
Most impactful move thus
I would say
far.
Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, gotta be.
For me, it's between the Rondo and Aaron Gordon trade, because I don't know the implications of Rondo in the postseason with the Clippers yet.
And Rondo, and that's why I wasn't even gonna mention him, is because we're waiting for playoff Rondo.
Regular Rondo, yeah, it's just like...
And everybody's trashing Rondo already. I'm like, bro, did we not just watch like playoff?
He
Rondo?
helped him get a ring. He just helped, like, he literally just helped him get a ring.
Who's trashing Rondo? Do you know who's doing it now?
Who?
Checks and balances.
It's the people who want to say they're Laker fans, but they're Bron fans.
Yeah, like people.
That's what happened.
Anybody trying to say like, yo, the Clippers shouldn't have picked up Rondo. I'm like, bro, y'all were just
8 months ago.
We were literally just like in the bubble.
We were just praising this man for helping this man get a ring. We just said playoff Rondo,
yeah,
all that.
So many people saw playoff Rondo was like, okay, it is real. Mind you, he chilling right now.
Bro, Rondo is still one of the smartest players in the league. Probably top 3.
He knows what he's doing. He's keeping his body healthy. He's like, I'm really not playing any of these games that matter. I'm gonna skip
with the Atlanta
Rondo
Hawks.
at this point. It's like I'm skipping as many regular season games as possible.
Yeah.
I'm only playing in the playoffs when it matters.
know what it is.
Because he knows what it is.
And then mind you, Terrence Mann, he can play all these minutes.
Get better, young man. I'll coach you from the side type. I'm gonna get ready for that in the next 5 to 7 years anyway.
Rondo's the type of person that you could just stick in, but in terms of impactful, from what we've seen after the trades, definitely Aaron
And Rondo
Gordon.
probably playing whatever practice time they have. He's probably playing.
And if
not lacking.
Tyronn Lue
He's
ever
not
pulled up
lacking.
on him, was like, hey, yo, we need you right now. Y'all winning enough games. I'll see you in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's not like Rondo's gonna be ready.
Yeah, because you're gonna get the best me in the playoffs. So I'm gonna wait till then.
We got like three championship point guards within our organization: Chauncey Billups, Tyronn Lue, Rondo.
Yeah.
And Larry Drew was on the coaching staff when Cleveland won in 16. Tyronn Lue did get a ring. He just got.
That's all I've been thinking about.
He got,
I
he got stepped over in the midst of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he got a ring.
That was that one. That was that one.
I was like, maybe that's why I didn't
I saw you
remember.
looking, and I was like, who is he thinking about?
Yeah, I was like, bro, we all know he was in the finals. Like,
T-Lou got a ring.
yeah.
All right.
He works for that ring. I give him that. Or got worked for that ring. Whatever.
Yeah, got oh, yeah.
That's my slander for the
War
Knicks.
wounds.
Yeah, no, facts.
So-
Big respects. I'll
so-
be worse.
Aaron Gordon's the most impactful.
For sure.
We said last episode that the Denver Nuggets are now back in the hunt in terms of things. In terms of, I guess, the
It's
the
up for
Game of
grabs in the
Thrones
West right now.
situation, but looking at Denver, looking at the West, has tides turned in some way? Do guys need to start hurrying back who's been sitting out?
The
Like
Lakers-
Anthony Davis, do they need to get back on the court?
As long
I
as
don't
they
think
can make
need
the
to hurry
playoffs is
because
good, yeah.
I was just about to say, the West is in a kind of way where, honestly, regardless of your seed, the team that you're going to play in that first round, it ain't going to be light. Unless you're the 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
So, the way I would look at the Lakers, we're going to be in the playoffs, get healthy. Because you don't want to be hurt or banged up when you have to face a team like the Nuggets in the second round or possibly the first. I have no idea how these seedings are going to fall and how they're going to shape, but you want to be fully healthy. in
Even the
playoffs.
1-8, if you don't come correct, the West is just really up for grabs at this point.
Question. Is anyone here concerned, just a tad, about the Lakers' on-court issues based upon not playing enough games?
This is a LeBron team. This always happens, bro.
Yeah.
We do this every year.
Last year was
It's
like
like
one of
it's
the more
close to the end. It's like,
harder
oh, they look like this or that. Are they gonna be ready?
I'll say this. Boom. I'll say this for this reason though. In past years, those teams, even with there being LeBron teams, those teams still had some level of, all right, we've been together 2, 3, 4 years.
I'll say
In
this
this
too.
situation,
We've never had a situation.
They just came off a ring. Granted, yes, they won that ring.
Okay.
Anthony Davis is Anthony Davis. LeBron James is LeBron James. But you've added Drummond. You've added Schroeder. Schroeder, yes, he's been here all season, but you've added him this season. Like Trez. These are new bodies.
Yeah, all of these dudes.
Now, granted, they all can hoop, all playoff bodies. But still, like, is there a little bit of, like, I don't know, because Anthony been out for a long time now. Like,
This is the only reason why I'm worried. We've never seen a situation where it's like, okay, Bron, you're gonna sit out this many games. And the thing is, the last time they did that, they didn't make the playoffs at all.
Right?
But
You feel me?
I think the difference is
that seems a lot different, constructed.
But I'm saying that's the last time he's missed this many games.
But-
or he had to miss this many games.
we knew they weren't gonna win that chip that year. The Warriors were gonna smoke them. Like, he didn't want to fight for that AFC because he knew what was good. So I will say this about Bron and the Lakers in general as a team this year. Get into the playoffs if they're healthy. This is gonna be really funny because y'all know how big of a Kobe fan I am. You've seen me years talk about Bron and etc. Ups, downs, or whatever. I trust him.
Oh, man.
Oh, snap.
But tell me, what,
snap, Tamal.
in
I
the
never
last
heard that come out your mouth.
X amount of years, what has shown me that Bron can't get to at least the Western Conference Finals if he plays in the playoffs? That's what I'm saying. There's no evidence against it.
There's none.
And then as soon as he had a running mate in the West, what did he do? Run it up. So I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's gonna be I'm not gonna be one of those fans that say, oh, LeBron's gonna come back and he's just gonna run through the West. It's not gonna be that light. But what I can say, if LeBron and AD are healthy, and I had to put money
But that's
on
what we got to
anything,
bank on, and I don't see that happening in this short amount of time with the injuries they had.
well, the argument is whether they're gonna be healthy in the playoffs or not. That's really the
really what
argument.
it comes down
because
to.
I say they're gonna chill in the regular season, whether they go 4th, 5th, 6th seed, who cares? If they're healthy in the playoffs, I got them at least going to the Western Conference Finals.
I'm scared for that thought. Not for the Lakers in general, but I'm scared for that thought.
Health, yeah.
4th, 5th, 6th, I don't agree with that wholeheartedly. Because the Clippers are playing, Denver is playing, Utah is playing,
Utah's nothing to
Dallas
joke with,
is
too.
playing.
That's the thing. Like, they're like, yo, keep joking this if you want. We're going to bounce one of y'all.
Phoenix is playing. Everybody else right now are playing.
Yeah, playing.
For the most part. Like, all of them. And I don't think that's necessarily the best idea to come back and say, all right, y'all go ahead and just stretch and let's go back out there and go get us another ring.
I don't think
like,
it's stretching. I think they're gonna
like-
come and try to play like the last 10 games or 15 games of the season as a cohesive unit. I don't think they're gonna sit out into the playoffs. But I'm saying the break that they have been taking because of injuries right now.
But here's the thing. If you're telling me, oh man, like this new impactful Aaron Gordon, if you look at the makeup of that team, they could do some real damage on the switching side in terms of guarding ball. Like just guarding, playing defense. They could do something really crazy over there.
Fair.
When you got Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, you got Paul Millsap, you got all these guys that interchangeable bodies that can guard 2 through 5 essentially, and then you still have Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. Granted, not the best defender.
Will Barton's still there.
Will Barton. Like, you got guys like that, like, oh, man, we can really lock in on defense. And now they're starting to get the chemistry on the offensive end. Like we mentioned before, they haven't lost the game yet. You have Phoenix, who's hot. Phoenix are considered to be a team that's playing above or over their heads right now, but still, 2 seed. Utah is nothing to play with. Yeah. Clippers are the Clippers.
It's
no matter what it is.
It's no disrespect to those teams.
So,
I don't think the Lakers are going to come back and gentlemen sweep everybody like they did last year. But arguably, if they're healthy and they line up against everybody else, I would say in the West, I would hands down say this. They have the best player on the floor, LeBron James, when he's healthy. Mm-hmm. And depending on who you play, they have the second best player on the floor, and Anthony Davis. And I think in the playoffs, what we really don't talk about enough is generally that gets you over the hump. Having the best player on the floor. And we saw that with Brown in the East. I know this ain't the East, but what I'm trying to say is there's a track record where if I had to put faith in somebody,
I get it. No, I get it. I mean, it's not even about track record or Eastern Conference play for me. It's more so about we're looking at different matchups now.
Matchups and health, bro.
That is a real
the
threat.
Nuggets are scary because they can throw a lot of people defensively.
Clippers
The
too.
switching.
Like, let's not act like Rondo don't know their whole playbook.
Facts. It's scary.
Like,
and I don't think it's going to be light. And that's why I said I think the Lakers should at least make, if they're healthy, the Western Conference Finals. I didn't say the Finals, but I think they should get past the first 2 rounds.
I know we do this all the time. If LeBron wins this ring, wow. Like, this might...
Don't we say that every year?
Like, I don't think we said this last year. I think last year we was like, all right,
last
man.
year was
like,
easy.
It was
It was
bubble
Peach Jam,
season.
bro.
Like,
P-Jam?
Yeah.
like, you got it.
He called it
You
the
know?
COVID Invitational.
Like,
It was.
If you got it, cool. That's your ring. We're not going to diminish it, but all right, whatever. But this one, based upon the heightened level of the West and everything that's
It'll be his
going
fifth,
on,
right?
this is the 5th. This is a true Western Conference threat.
This is as
And,
West
like,
as he's
the only-
ever seen the West.
Yeah, and it's the only thing we're missing is Klay Thompson on the
This
Golden
is
State
West
Warriors.
as it
That's the
gets.
only thing we're missing.
Yeah.
That's all we're missing. Klay Thompson and the Golden State Warriors would epitomize this situation
Now,
for competition and everything. But, man, like, it doesn't get harder than this. And I'm curious to see how they come back because they've been sitting out for so... Anthony has been sitting out for so
And
Grant,
G, you made a
long,
great
bro.
point too. Like, this is the first. I think this will be the first postseason where it's like, Bron, you can't duck any smoke.
He's still.
Because the one he sat out, they could have made it, but he was just like, I don't want to be part of this embarrassment because I'm playing with a whole bunch of young dudes.
Yeah,
This one right here
gonna
is
get
just
up
like,
past that.
I know we're not all the way healthy, and like Tamon said, this is the West has ever looked. It's the West has ever been.
At least since like Kobe and them.
Yeah, it's like San Antonio
Yeah.
and Mavs and
KD and them.
Yeah, all them. You know what I'm saying? It's the West it's ever been. So it's just like you said, G, if he finds a way to win this one, it's like, okay, you got it, bro. Like, he really got it. Like,
So
he has to go through Doncic in the Mavs probably, or he has to go through. Mind you, Steph Curry's still dolo, but he's gonna drop like 50 at least 3 times.
right now, I think the Warriors are sitting at the 10th spot.
They're gonna have to play a play.
So it's
probably.
as good as even Curry's playing, they're not even in the playoff hunt.
They're gonna have to play a play in.
They're getting blown out by 60.
Or you're gonna have to
Right
run
now.
into Utah. They're making the most trays as a unit I've ever seen. Like, as a unit, Jordan Clarkson probably gonna get 6 man. Or you're gonna have to probably
Shout
run
out to Jordan
into
Clarkson, baby
Big shout
Laker.
out.
bro. Like, there's really nowhere they can really hide. Like, that's why I kind of agree with Tamaz.
It doesn't matter about seedings.
There's nowhere you can
Doesn't
really
matter about
hide.
seedings, bro.
You're gonna run into somebody.
Because if the Lakers were healthy and they did get the 1 seed, they're probably just running into somebody else who they were
You're gonna
already
run into
play. Like,
somebody.
at this point, it's like man up and just play.
And
Like,
I mean, yeah,
March Madness almost.
and I get that. It's not, and like I said, it's not necessarily about the seeding for me. It's more so about we got to get some reps now. Like,
and that's why I said
like, we got to
like
get on the
last
court
15
and get
games.
some reps and I think they need, in my perspective, I think they need more than 20, more than 15. I think they need somewhere in the 20, 23 ballpark. Like, y'all need to play. Like, y'all need to be out here because we need to see what Schroeder looks like next to AD again with Drummond. We need to figure out, rotations, all that in the third. It's hard to handle. Coaches, help me. Is it hard to handle rotations if guys are missing?
Not only missing, they're missing any of a deep team. When you have dudes that are deserving to play in there at that talent level, and they're not there, it's like, okay, where and when do I plug them in?
Because when they get healthy, they're taking all the minutes that were developed by somebody else.
Or just like, yo, this dude's talented, but this dude's talented too, but they both haven't been here, so I don't know when and where to plug them in within this team.
Yeah.
Because they're all talented. If someone's a bum, it's easy to sit a bum. He's not supposed to play anyway. Compared to like, okay, he's talented, but he's talented too. Where do I fit him in where it's like, okay, this makes sense and we can win games?
I think this is the difference, though. You don't fit AD and LeBron in. You fit everybody else around them. So if they miss games, your team isn't there.
But there's different combinations and patterns you can use regardless. Like you said, those are two dudes compared to
You still got to put, you still got to put 3 guys
other
on
dudes
the floor
around
with
them.
100%. This is LeBron James and Anthony Davis we're talking about, though. You build your team around them.
Yeah,
I don't
whatever
care when
best
they.
piece.
I don't care
obvious.
when they sit. I don't care when they play. I don't care anything about that. When they come back, whether it's only they play 5 games, 10 games, etc. Your team, you're not even forming chemistry or cohesiveness when they're gone. You're just trying to keep
But
your
once
head
again,
above
those
water.
postseason games towards the late stretches, like it's gonna be those dudes around him that help. It's like, yo,
For sure,
this dude hit like 4 trades down the stretch.
Bro, these role players, they
stepped up,
matter.
like-
I'm not dismissing it like, oh, the Lakers got Bron and AD, they're good. It's going to be a hurdle to get over. But when you
I'm
have
telling you,
Bron and AD,
in Bron's
it's some
situation,
kind of faith
in Bron
you
and
have to
AD
have.
situation right now, they're not just gonna 2016 this joint all the way through the postseason. Not in the West. It's not
in the
happening.
West. Nah, not in the West.
In the East, they could do that to get to the finals, and then they can just bam out as a unit, like for one series.
No, for sure. In the West, it's going to be a little different. It's going to be tougher. But like I said,
It's gonna take other dudes stepping up.
there's a
that's-
certain amount of faith that I have to have from people who just want to chip together, and if they can come back actually healthy.
And that's another key word. Like I said,
Actually healthy.
once again, this is gonna be
No
Bron's
nicks, no
toughest one.
bruises.
If Bron finds a way to get there, I'm like, okay, impressive. If he finds a way to win this, I'm like, wow, okay, dude, you got it.
Like I said, that's why I asked, Leak and Manny about like coaching because yes, they're your 2 stars. Y'all do the grassroots basketball, the AAU situations. Y'all know who's D1. Y'all know who needs to get the
Bro,
rock.
me and Leak both
Y'all
seen
know,
it. We've lost with teams where it's like, yo, we shouldn't have lost to that team, but we didn't know how to plug dudes in certain times when we lost.
Like, even if you got 2 stars, you still got to put 3 other guys next to him, and you got to know when to sit one down and who put the other 4 with that other star. Like, y'all know that situation.
On top of the fact that y'all got to play in a way where everyone accepts their role and they play hard within their role regardless.
Exactly. So we were looking at I'm not thinking that. I think the Lakers won't have a problem about playing hard. I think it's more so about playing hard and understanding like where I fit in that situation.
Exactly.
How do I get to be optimized in my situation, in my role, and because I am a different player. Like all players aren't the same. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Kyle Kuzma don't play the same at all.
They don't.
They don't play the same. No matter, even if LeBron can sometimes fit them into that square hole sometimes. They still don't play the same. They still don't go about it the same
Or
way.
even something as small as, what I'm saying, Bron and AD can be hooping, but I feel like if Schroeder averages under 14 points, they're not going to win games or make it as far as they're supposed to. Right. Little stuff like that is going to matter.
What's really going to is definitely with a guy like Schroeder. And I mean, this is definitely a time right now where, as a coach, you got to manage what you have. So this is a time for him to get his confidence up, get him to understand how to play with Andre Drummond. Mm-hmm. And at least, if anything, they really need to go through Schroeder because if he's coming off these screens, you're kicking to all your shooters. That's where offense from Bron comes back anyways. So it's more so you got to figure out, okay, with like, what still can we do with the lineup we know we're going to have when it's game time? Because, even though Bron and AD are out right now, we know whenever they're healthy, that's what we're going through. And we're building guys around. So I feel like from a process standpoint, you just got to let the dudes that are there right now know, like, hey, like, this is auditioning for who's going to get these minutes when they come back.
That's it, to be honest. That's really the only way you can carry it. Because at the end of the day, once postseason starts, 2-on-5 is not going to win the whole, you're not going to win out the West 2-on-5. In the East, you can do that. In the East, you could do that. In the West, it's not going to happen.
Man, in the East, I saw Bron went 1-5. And this is not me saying Bron's going to run through the West. I'm just saying in the East, you're completely right. Not in this East.
Once again, the league just looks entirely different.
different.
Like, everyone hoops. Because I think we touched on it before the pod. Like, the league's turned into, like, a Cold War race.
Cold
Like,
War. Cold War. We said this in 2018.
Who can pick up the most arms? Who can pick up the most weapons?
It's
We're
Russia
gonna
versus
rock
the
out.
U.S.
Yeah. We're not going to do this authentic no more because obviously no one else is.
Yeah, obviously.
Except Dame.
Besides Dame, and we see the position they're in.
Yeah.
They're not competitive right now. So I'm saying that those are the type of teams you're going to go up against. So it's just like it's going to take more than 2 dudes playing basketball to win the whole series. Each and every time.
Yeah. And so I guess that's my reservations for the Lakers in that situation.
It's a tough road, but I said Western Conference Finals. If they were never hurt, I would have been said. I've said the Lakers are going to go.
If they were never hurt, yeah.
Yeah, but then injuries take a toll, so I can understand if they don't get to the finals. But if they go into the playoffs healthy, like I can see them going to the Western Conference Finals, and then at that point, regardless, I can always say that the Lakers will have the best player if he's healthy, LeBron James, in every series they play, and that matters. That always matters.
Yeah.
Because in a game 7, me and Leek have talked about it before. You and I have talked about it before. Me and Greg have talked about it before. In a game 7, there's always the edge of who has the best player on the floor. And I've seen that. And the most memorable time I've seen that, RIP to who I think is the best player ever.
Celtics series.
Being in game 7. And it wasn't like it was a pretty efficient
That joint was
scoring.
ugly, but at the end of the day, yeah.
Sometimes you just got to have the best player on the floor who can influence the most. And it's no disrespect to anybody on the Lakers, that team, or the Celtics on that team, but arguably that's what it comes down sometimes is who can put their print on the game the most in terms of influencing it.
No doubt. And don't disagree at all with that. Yes, you had the best player on the floor.
You always got a shot.
You always
got
have a shot.
Always got a chance.
Always do.
But, man.
It's going to be a tough one.
That's what I'm
It's going to be a
saying.
tough one. It's going to feel like a 30-footer with a hand in your face.
But, man.
I said, like Bron would have to show me
man.
something I haven't seen before. And like I said, if he finds a way to take his team to get there, I'll be like, very impressive. If they win it, it's like, wow, you got it. Like
I can
I don't
always
think
say
it's.
this.
I honestly don't think it's anything we haven't seen before. I really think at this point we've seen everything that LeBron has to be.
he will never have a postseason this competitive getting to the finals. I don't think so.
Yeah, of getting there. He's
Of
had
getting
great-
there.
But in
For
terms-
all of his postseason, bro, they've been like low-key
But-
cakewalks.
Well,
I
granted,
understand
he
what I'm
was in the
saying, but I'm
East.
talking about performance. I'm talking about what he does on the court.
He's
You say
had
he
great
You
individual
say he's gonna have to do
performances.
something. You said he's gonna have to do something he's never seen LeBron do before. And I'm assuming
in
you talk
terms
about
of
performance.
adversity, and that's
Beat
why I like.
three
Okay.
good teams of this magnitude. That
'Cause he
he's
does
gonna
some
have to
OD
And
do.
that's
stuff.
why I
He
revere
does.
Jordan the way I do. Not just like the thing is, I wasn't born in that era, but just even looking at those individual teams they were playing, like, yo, they're supposed to be this, that, and that. And there's like, okay, Jordan made them look like mid. That's why I was like, oh, okay, like he was really like head and shoulders better than everybody else.
Jordan's your goat.
He's still to me.
Yeah.
He's still to me. Like I said,
No,
that's
Jordan,
why
Jordan is the greatest.
he's still to me. Like
Jordan's the greatest. He's just not the best. But we ain't go there. We ain't
it's a
go
mom, bro. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if LeBron does this, now I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, I have to actually entertain those conversations now because every time someone's compared LeBron to Mike, I'm like, I don't even want to hear it. I don't, because like I've just seen Mike do some stuff in situation I haven't seen Bron do it.
Bron has done some amazing stuff.
But
Like
he
I said,
has, he has.
always say like the greatest thing I've ever seen from Bron was 2018. Like that playoff run, I get it. They got. Did they get a game in that finals?
Nah,
they got swept because Kyrie was already gone. He
But that's the hardest.
with those Celtics.
But I'll say that's
But
the
that
hardest I've
playoff
ever
run-
seen him go, though. That's the hardest I've
That
ever seen him
playoff
go.
run was ridiculous.
And so that's what I'm saying. I don't think in terms of performance, it's not nothing we haven't seen from LeBron. I think it's more
We would
so.
need that type of output at this age, and that's why I'd be like, that would be the hardest thing he's ever done.
I don't think he has to do that to get to a finals.
This time.
He doesn't
This
have
time
to go
around.
20.
He has.
Oh,
he has-
because he has AD.
He has prime AD.
Because he has prime AD.
All he has to do is be, and that's what I'm saying. If the Lakers are actually healthy, then anything can happen. I at least expect them to get to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to. Then that's why I still think, I'm just trying to make sure my Clippers see them. And honestly, I think it's going to be a second round.
Second round. That's what it's looking like.
It's looking like second
I have
round,
been
bro.
telling you that I think just how it was going to go, it was going to be that way.
Honestly, that's the one thing that I need to see in the Western Conference.
We missed out on it last year.
I think that's the only thing I need
we
to
missed
see.
out on it last year, bro.
Thanks, Clips.
What's his name?
Inside job, bro.
Tracy Paul Grady. I don't know.
Tracy, yeah. I don't know.
Scotty Paul Grady.
Scotty Paul Grady.
Ah, man.
Thank you.
Grady Scott Paulie. I don't know what it is anymore.
But yeah, I think I need to see that because in terms of matchups outside, like yes, Denver's gonna be great, and
We've been waiting for Kawhi Brown,
and we've missed, and we're gonna get out on this, because we've been here for however long. Keith.
For a grip. Keith ain't supposed to be here this long.
No, he ain't. What's
My
our
bad,
time?
Keith.
Yeah, we out of here. So, I think we've missed a lot of like big player-to-player matchups, and I know like this we've bought in. A lot of people bought into this team game thing, and a lot of people have kind of denounced this narrative of like, oh, it's him versus him. But I like that narrative. I'm just gonna be that guy. I like that narrative.
In basketball, it can be him versus him.
I like it when
It
we
could
say
be a team versus team,
it's
but it could be
Jordan
him versus
versus Chuck.
Yeah.
It's LeBron versus
Magic versus Larry.
Magic versus Larry. What we should have had LeBron versus Cole.
Should have had Bean versus Braun, but somebody didn't get there.
Y'all remember the documentary they had? Like they had the 23
The
versus
MVP
24
puppets,
jump?
bro. I know y'all remember
Like
that.
those were
lit.
Those are the moments where we like, dang, we need to see that. We need to see LeBron versus Kawhi.
And the West, yeah.
We need to see.
It's a must.
I need to see LeBron versus KD again.
Another.
I got to.
The trilogy.
It's just the way it works. I'm sorry.
But
That's
the
just
thing,
the way
like,
it is at this point.
The real trilogy.
This postseason, like if the Lakers do make it to the finals, that's the road Bron's gonna have to take once again, which would make it the hardest road I've ever seen. Like,
Right.
in terms of bronze chips, that would be probably the most
it
competition.
would be the most goated. Yeah, it would be the most goated. Like
Yeah.
start to finish type, not just
Right.
one team, because one team was just Golden State.
He's gonna have
Golden
to be
State,
a
start to
variation
finish.
This
of,
might be this might be the greatest playoff run if he pulls. This will be the greatest playoff
Regardless
run.
if he has AD next to him or not. Regardless,
It'll be his
It'll-
greatest.
Yes.
because it'll end in the chip.
Yeah.
Reason we're gonna call. We're not
Yeah.
gonna
Because
It will
call
end in a
2018 was amazing, but it
It
didn't
will end in a chip.
chip.
It will end in the chip. It will be his greatest playoff run, and then you end it all off with playing Brooklyn Avengers essentially.
You're playing,
Like,
literally the team that was like, I'm not gonna say it was put against to stop you, but like storyline wise, the dude that played with you that hit the biggest shot, but he wasn't rocking.
basically
with you.
everyone rocked there to get a ring and say F you.
Yeah, people came together. Yeah,
It didn't even have to be a big F you all the time, but it's like whatever your legacy is, we don't care. We're all gonna come here to get a ring.
Yeah. Brooklyn was assimilated
So-
as like the anti-fascist.
We all don't got
Nah.
one, but let's get one. Katie's like, I got two. I remember what it was like. Come with me, y'all.
Yeah, Kyrie like, I got a chip.
but I didn't like that one.
I didn't like that one. I need a new one.
Yeah. Kyrie like, I got a chip, but I call Kobe after.
Yeah.
I called Kobe after, and I didn't like that one, so I need a new one.
And then Hard in his mind, he's like, dang, well, if y'all don't like this dude Bron, I really don't like that dude Steph.
no, really. I think that's what it is at this point. So I think,
Look at us creating narratives.
yeah, look at us being irresponsible with our platforms. But I think that's what we're looking at. And I guess we'll get into that next episode in terms of the pressure on Brooklyn Nets to be what they need to be and get there. Because
I can't even call it pressure. It's like, yo, if y'all don't do this,
exactly the implications of not getting there is immense. And so, we'll get to that next episode. But we getting out here today. We're at 145, man.
Yeah.
We gave y'all a lot.
Yeah, Keith ain't even smiling no more. I don't know if he was ever smiling, but
He was smiling for a minute. He was laughing. Now he's like, all right, let's go home.
it's past his bedtime.
So
Yeah, it's past
So-
mine too.
we appreciate y'all, man. We appreciate y'all. We thank y'all for watching the show, for sticking with us throughout all of this, man. Listening, if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, Google, we appreciate it. Be sure to hit that sub button, hit that like button, share if you haven't with someone else. We appreciate all the love, all the support. As y'all know, 250, man. That's a milestone for us. We growing, we grinding, we trying to get to that 1,000.
we
Then
got two cameras,
beyond.
y'all.
We haven't even turned up yet, for real.
Exactly, man. Exactly. We just getting back in the gym.
Greg does have a video with 10K.
I do a video with 10K. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. Y'all did that, not me. Y'all did that. So I thank y'all, man. I didn't think it was 10K worthy, but y'all
It was
pulled
me
that
and all
off.
my bots.
Okay.
Stream house, bro.
Hey,
Y'all different breed, man. But we got any shout outs?
shout out Paige Beckers.
She's a buck.
bucket.
She's a buck.
Yo,
What's the girl from Iowa? Was it Iowa?
Kate,
Caitlin Clark?
something like that. I
I
can't
want
remember
to be
everything.
right. I want to be right.
Appreciate that looking out. Ooh, can we have a negative shout out? What is it? Shout down or a quiet?
No negative.
Only
No
positivity
shout
here.
downs. We don't do shout downs. Shout outs, man.
We let them keep the negativity. Only positivity.
They got that.
Sure.
They got that.
Positive.
All right.
We good over here.
I don't like the NCAA. I'm getting that out anyway.
Oh, that's the one.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, that's the only one.
Oh, I can do that then. All right.
Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark, yeah.
Clark.
NCAA, let y'all women go, like, not y'all women, because y'all don't own them, but y'all act like y'all do. Let the women basketball players go after 1 year while y'all holding them for 3. This ain't football. That was my negative one. So, positive. It was a positive for the women, yo. Go get a bag. Let them go get a bag.
ASAP.
Oh, there was, I ain't going to remember it in time. I ain't going to remember it in time.
Shout out to Manny.
Big shout out.
Big shout out to Manny. He's doing something special. You want to tell him? Real quick?
Oh yeah, shout out to 7 Sports, elite basketball training, business I started on my own, through God's grace. Didn't think I was gonna do it. Been hesitant on it for a very, very long time. Mm-hmm. Had a couple people in my corner pushing me, so yeah. Training out of the Richmond, Chesterfield area. Check me out, 7.performance on Instagram. So yeah, that's that.
All right. I think we're done, man. I ain't got no more shout outs.
Yeah.
Shout out to y'all, man.
Yeah, one more shout out. I was wondering. I was like, there's one other woman hooper that I can remember. Big shout out to Baylor's Dee Richards. She suffered a spinal cord injury, left her paralyzed from the waist down. Mind you, the story was personally inspirational to me because some people y'all can see the brace. I literally am still learning how to walk again. It's a slow process. So since she was paralyzed from like the waist down, she regained movement in her legs, extensive rehabilitation, and she returned to the court and helped Baylor to the Elite 8. Big shout out to Dee Richards, because when I look at stories like that now, like back in the past, like I was like, oh, cool story, but now it's like, all right, inspiration. So big shout out to you.
All right, y'all. We out of here, man. We out of here. As always, eat, sleep, breathe the game. We love you. Be safe. We out.
Hey, bro, you gotta take Brian's seat.
What?
I don't know. Yeah, gotta take Brian's seat. You can take it. Yeah, take it.